Alright everybody, welcome to our 10-minute stretch video. This is a video designed for you, and some of you may have done this already. This is a reshoot we're doing to have a little bit better volume for you. With that, this is a stretch that we can do as long as we have as much space as our body needs on the floor. We should be able to do this anywhere. We need no equipment, we just need your body, which we can take from cold, and then we'll move all the way through into stretching every single joint, ligament, and muscle that triggers some problems in our day-to-day. With that, we're going to get started down on the floor. So coming down to kneeling, we're going to come to all fours. From here, we're working into the back. So giving our spine some space, we're dropping the middle of our back down and then pulling it all the way up and tucking our chin. So what we want to think about here is really flexing that spine. Pull it up to the ceiling, drop it way down into the floor. Give it as much space as we can manage. If you like, bringing our yoga breathing into this, we're going to inhale all the way in and up, and exhale all the way out and down. So nice big movements here. From that, let's work into the shoulders. So lifting one arm all the way up, controlling it all the way through, bending that stabilizing arm to come into our shoulder thread the needle. Big movements here. Really trying to let those shoulders all the way in and out. Big movements. Coming on to the other side. Let that other shoulder have some space, compressing as we pull up and releasing and relaxing as we stretch over and down. Finding as much space in those tired, overworked, life-bearing shoulders. Really giving ourselves an opportunity to open everything and give yourself some space. From here, we're going to come all the way back up to standing to cycle through our windmill just like we do in class. So if you've been attending class with me regularly, we'll be doing these almost every time we see each other. One of the biggest benefits of these windmills is that we get a huge stretch through the whole spine. Little mini rotation as we open up the hips, open up this low back, get that nice twist through the middle back, and even twisting into the shoulders and neck as we keep our eyes on that top side hand all the way through. Good. From here, we're going to just get a little stretch into those hamstrings now. So pulling your kneecaps up and pull your toes up if that feels good. Press your chest forward. Come down in that nice flat back. Big stretch, getting as low as you can. Releasing those kneecaps and releasing the toes as we pull down towards the floor. Perfect. From here, we're going to stretch the whole rest of our body, getting a little deeper into the back now. So bringing our hands together to make our gun. We're dropping into one side, pulling that top shoulder back. Neck is visible if you have a mirror. Imagining that chin's up nice and high regardless. Coming back through center. Big inhale to stretch up and drop into that other side. Pulling that top shoulder back. Fingers are reaching for the back corner of the room, all the way back up and over into that other side. Big stretches through the whole side of our body. Big compressions through the whole inside. Really good for helping open up our ribs, our lats, our obliques, and most valuable, of course, getting us some nice hip shape and waist shape. From the center now, we're going to take a little lean back. And if you can lean back farther, please feel free. But we just want to compress that spine so as we come forward to open it up, everything's all ready to release. Pulling the forehead into your knees, letting that back relax. Good. From here, we're going to come down to the floor, getting into our IT band thread the needle now. Coming all the way back, feet flat, one foot comes up and over. We're going to reach through this triangle. So from another angle, we're here, leg comes up, we're reaching through that space to here. From that, we're going to pull. What we want to think about is this knee coming farther away, so we can push into that with your elbow if that's where we are, and our ankle pulling in. So we get this torquing movement through the hip, and that's really going to let us release a lot of space. While we're here, we can do some rotations through the ankle if that feels good, getting nice and deep into that stretch. So again, another ankle coming into that other side, dropping down, other leg comes up and over now, reaching through that same triangle, grabbing into the back of the thigh, big pull to stretch the outside of this hip. We want to feel all of that stretch coming into your IT band. That IT band connects your hip with your knee and can cause all kinds of problems if we don't give it the space that it needs in your day-to-day. From here, let's come back up to kneeling. We're going to take a big step forward and drop into this kneeling lunge. So we're really stretching deep into those hip flexors here. With that, we have a tendency not to let ourselves stretch. This is a pre-do the split stretch. So we want to feel a lot of opening into those hip flexors. They are with you through every sit-up, every crunch, every lunge, everything that we do with our legs over the course of our day. We're engaging that core, we're engaging our hip flexors. So really give yourself some space here. Then reversing, we'll come up to kneeling, toes come up. We never ever want to push on that knee. It's really easy to hyperextend it this way. Keep your hands away so they can come behind or on the floor. We want to tuck ourselves down. Eventually, in the course of our lifetime, we want to be able to touch our forehead to our knee. No challenge for today. With that, as we get deep into that stretch, we'll hold for a couple of breaths, remembering that any stretch we do, we want to maximize the amount of time that we spend in it. Most of our muscles require 20 seconds to be able to relax. So we want to either hit them several times or really give ourselves time in those deep stretches. Anywhere along the way here, you can stretch extra. Pause the video and carry on. With that, in this stretch, we want to point and flex. So pulling those toes in towards your face, dropping them down towards the floor. This is going to get a big stretch in through the back of the knee and back of the leg, one of the tightest areas of our body and one of the hardest ones to stretch on a regular basis. Switching side snap, we'll drop way down forward again, really letting that front hip relax, stretching nice and deep into that space, letting all of your weight sink down into those hips, really opening up as much as possible for those 20 seconds. Dropping down. Reversing here, again coming up on that back knee, making sure we're not pushing on the knee, and then dropping in and down. You can add in those points and flexes at any time. They should deepen that stretch, make it a little bit more fun, some more space without ever letting off those hamstrings. Our hamstrings carry so much tension for us in our day-to-day lives. Awesome, pulling those toes up. Beautiful. From here, I want you to come into our kneeling compression. We do this quite a bit in our workout and finishing off as well. If you're able to come up with your feet about 90 degrees away from each other at right angles, the main joint of your large toe, your big toe, is going to come together, heels together and knees on the floor. If this isn't possible, that's okay. I'll show you an adaptation. But if you are able to get in here now, we want to take that lean back. So this movement's going to do a couple of things for us. As we stretch our quads with this backwards lean and coming as far back as you can, we're opening up all of the space. At the same time, we're compressing our thighs. And in that compression, we change the way our blood flows through our body, allowing our body to bring some of that lymph out of the legs and tends to work its way down over the course of our day. Really, really good for our immunity and our metabolism. So very, very valuable stretch, very valuable compression to use anytime you've had a good workout or a big hike in the mountains, you've been walking all day, even at the mall, our legs get swollen. They're swollen with water and lymph. So the more we can clear that out, the more we can let our body recover naturally. From here then, if that wasn't possible for you, if it was possible, stay where you are and keep stretching there. Lean back a little farther every breath. Otherwise, we'll come onto one side, pull your heel in towards your glute, and really help to stretch that quad on both sides. Now, if this is feeling tight for you, please spend more time than I'm demonstrating right now, really letting that space open up. Now, for those of you that were able to stay in that recovery compression, we're going to sit up now. This is letting our feet stretch too, helping us prevent plantar fasciitis or any other ankle pain or tightness that tends to come from overuse and understretching. So we're letting those feet get some space, and while we're doing that, we can stretch out our upper body. If you aren't able to control yourself in this exercise, or it doesn't feel good, it feels tight, just come up to kneeling. It's the same thing. We're just stretching those shoulders out, giving the rest of our body some time to open up. So working up and down through our shoulders here, this should feel really good. Especially if you carry a lot of tension in your shoulders, it can be a really tight space to work through. So back and forth here. If you find a spot that feels extra good, spend extra time there. Breathe through it, let that space open up and relax. It's so valuable for us to keep our shoulders happy. From that, we're going to bring one hand up and over now. So big stretch, and again, you could be in your compression or kneeling here, stretching out those triceps, trying to get the hand all the way down the back. If Eventually, over time, we want to be able to reach our hands together. Again, not necessarily a challenge for today. From that, our very last one now, actually that's not true. I want you to do these, and I want you to know about these, especially if you have an office job. This stretch will help you throughout your day, any day, every day. Loosening up those forearms from our typing if we've had a heavy weights day where we've been using the forearms through the whole workout, and also stretching the biceps at the same time. Our last one from here, little seated twist. Bringing your heel into your glute, the other leg comes up and over. Now, the same hand as your front leg is going to come in behind to help you sit up nice and tall. Big reach up and over here to twist away. Try and look behind you. Big stretch on the outside of that IT band again. While we stretch through the spine, twist through that spine, twist a little deeper, and then come back through center. We'll switch sides. Other foot comes into the hip. From that, up and over, same hand and leg comes in behind, opposite hand comes up. Let's take a big inhale because we can. And drop that arm over to twist. Twist, twist. This twisting is super good for your back. Really helpful in finding some space for your spine, space from your life, and relieving a lot of tension. With that, I hope that was a good stretch for you. Thank you for stretching with me, and have an amazing day.